So there are a lot of things today. Now, the value system has so much, errors that needs to be corrected. Now, we place premium on the way we define prosperity in this part of the world is for one to look at you as somebody who is prospering or who has attained some level of prosperity. They look at, do you have a car? Materialism. Do you have a house? Are you married? Do you have a child? And you see some people carry this mindset that if you don't have a child in Africa, you are like an outcast. Is somebody getting that? You've heard it before, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And in a place like our own client here, when they place so much premium on the boy child, that even if you have 20 female kids, children, and you've not gotten a boy child, a male, then you have not succeeded yet. Am I right? Sure. That is the picture we paint. So now you have a man or a woman who is into marriage, as in happily married. And every time she puts to bed, is always baby girl. Do you know that kind of psychological belief that has affected the psychology of the woman can lead her into depression? Yes. Because she goes to church and people begin to look at her, so Asha, she born for life. Who told you that? It's affecting her psychologically already. That's just an aspect. Hello? Mm-hmm. That's just an aspect to it. Then a woman even gives birth to one baby boy, to just one boy child, and with 5 kids, 5 baby girls, is also a problem. Now, so girls she born follow everywhere. Now only one boy, now she don't born. So it's as if, there are a lot of things in our society today that paints a very ugly picture that can lead to depression. Then that is one. I just talked about the cultural or value system that needs to be rejected. Then the second factor is the visionlessness of government. The economic situation in our country today, sociologically, politically and otherwise, you find out that it's even enough to cause depression. Am I right? Yes. Now, if you go to the Western world, for instance, you have a child, even if you have 3 kids, for instance, you don't need to pay school fees for them. The government takes care of the school fees for the children. Government takes care of their books. The government does not even stop at that. Government pays the kids. In Germany today, an average child earns between 400,000 to 600,000 monthly. So as a parent, if you have like 4 kids, let's say 500,000 per kid, that's about 2 million naira. Whether you work, you don't work, you can't go hungry. Am I right? Yes. Good. Because government even takes care of the school fees and expenses of the child. So you talk less of depression in such kind of countries. So the only things or areas where you can talk of issues of depression is maybe things relating to trust. Am I right? Trust, maybe bad relationship, bad relationships, and all that. So our government has failed woefully, and the failure of government is part of the reason for depression in this country today. So there are a lot of things. Then today it's painful that the church is not addressing the issue of mental health. Hello? So we must go back to strategies on how we can start interrogating these issues. The church every Sunday must begin to address the issue of mental health. Speak to people how they can maintain good mental health. Then the value system has to be rejected. We must begin to place premiums and emphasis on issues, values. That's when we talk of prosperity. Values that has to do more with fulfillment of purpose and vision. Hello? And not the number of wives you have, not the number of cars you have, not the number of buildings you have. This is what is leading a lot of people to Yahoo today. Am I right? Mm-hmm. And people are measuring themselves with others. See, I look at my age. I'll be 35 years old. Waiting, I feel me say I don't achieve. I look at me, I'm 50 years old. Oh, on the car floor. Now, life with this, you are thinking about yourself like that. But in the Western world, it's not like that. Because even at age 50, the government absorbs you. Government begin to pay you. They absorb you into their social security system. That government takes care of you in old age. Today, the reason why many people give birth to children is for somebody to have security of people who are going to take care of them. Am I right? Mm-hmm. It's may you born children. So we are giving birth to children as security measures. You see the psychology. So people are giving birth, say, one more walk away old age, what that who, but there are cases of a lot of children in Africa that grow and become very prosperous and successful in life that fail to take care of their parents. Are we aware of that?
Yes.
Especially when they fall victim to bad wives. Now you suffer so much for the child. You've trained the child. But if you are seeing the child as a security measure that is going to become successful tomorrow and come back and take care of you, then he follows one big buttocks at the end of the day that does not have character. Then the girl will now put the child in his pocket. They begin to put law that no parent must visit our home until we get approval from each other. You are in trouble. So if you, that's why you see a lot of people dying of depression, a lot of parents and all that at old age, frustration come into their life because they build security, children, as security. So you must not, my mentor, Dr. Chasapoki, told me some time ago, he said, if you want to live long and happily, he said, do not base your happiness on the pocket of anybody. Do not base your happiness on any human being. Do not base it on your wife. Do not base it on your husband. Do not base it on your children. But rather, base your happiness on issues of more enduring values, like your passion, like your purpose, your vision in life. This should be the basis for you. Because now your wife, if your happiness, the source of your happiness is your wife, now that wife is going to kill it one day. Is someone listening to me?
Yeah.
If you base your happiness on your children, you may not get the happiness someday.
Mm-hmm.
And today you see some men who are wise, they are beginning to have children in other people, other young men that are not their biological children. And history and research has also come to show that even before their biological children will respond to their needs and requests, these children who are not their biological already respond. You have about 50 of them will respond before their biological children. So we must begin to, spread our tentacles, change our mindset and value system in order for us to maintain a good health, mental what? Health. This is very important. Then finally, we must also watch our backs as individuals. You are in a workplace like this. Well, hello, everybody who tells you, and not everybody who tells you good morning, how are you, fine, who smile, that all is well. Hello, we must learn to check on ourselves. And sometimes we must also learn to speak out. It's just unfortunate that the society we find ourselves today does not encourage people confiding in people anymore. Because you confide on somebody that look at the challenge I'm having, and the person will turn it to subject of discourse to somebody. Because every friend of yours has another best friend that he discusses your matter with. So because of that, people are not even willing to share, to talk about, they prefer to even die in silence. Now imagine the person who died, in his room and was not discovered till after how many days. So there are a lot of things going on. We must watch our backs as individuals. Wherever you are working, there should be some level of care for each one another, which goes beyond the surface level. Now, for instance, you see a co-worker who for some time now has not been dressing well. But this is unlike the worker, your colleague. And this guy dresses very well. And all of a sudden, the guy is no longer dressing fine. You should know something is wrong. Hello? Stop the hello, hi thing. Go to the point of, young man, come. Young lady, come. I've been noticing you for some time now. Your dress sense has been altered. What's happening to you? Talk to me. What's the problem? Some may speak to you. Hello? So you should show some level of care. You are seeing a lady who used to take care of her hair. All of a sudden, the hair doesn't matter to her anymore. When ladies are having emotional problems and all that, it manifests all over them. Mm-hmm. Do you know that? Yes. Sometimes you just see them carrying rough hair. They don't even seem to care about themselves anymore. Show some level of care. What's eating you up? What's your problem? Or suddenly somebody who used to walk very well and behave very well is no longer behaving very well. Something has happened to the person. Some of us are very neat, but all of a sudden the person is no longer neat. Or all of a sudden somebody who used to be very respectful start talking to people rude. Start being rude to people. Something has happened to that person. Let's go to the extent of trying to investigate and check up on ourselves. In order to keep hope alive. In order for us to wake up every morning, you wake up, you have the hope, I'm going to see my neighbor, I'm going to see my colleague, alive. Because the way things are going, more people are going to die. But it's not my prayer for any one of us.
Amen.
May God help every one of us in Jesus' name. So it's just the advice and the thing I feel I should speak to us about this morning. It's troubling, please. It's troubling. All right? Then let us reduce the level of our witchcraft. When I say witchcraft, elementary witchcraft, because these are part of what causes depression. We use our mouth. Some of us will use our mouth to destroy people's destiny. Gossip and all that. In our workplace, we must try and downplay on so many of all these things. Because directly you can just cause somebody, push somebody into depression unknowingly to you. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
So please, going forward, that is it. Thank you very much for your audience.
Thank you, sir.
Then, do we have any questions? Yes.